Anthony Joshua's camp has finally cracked the code to knocking out Francis Ngannou, and the method will shock you. While you all are hoping Francis Ngannou will put a dent on Anthony Joshua's legacy, Francis is about to go to sleep. If all facts are right, AJ will impose carrot and stick boxing plan on Francis, which will make Francis quit by round 4. Here's the full details. Ben Davison is preparing Anthony Joshua to knock out Francis Ngannou within 4 using a simple technique called carrot and stick.
I think it's a big jeopardy fight for AJ. He's got the benefit of what Tyson didn't have going into the fight, in as much that you've now seen him in a boxing ring.
We know he can fight.
So you know he can fight, and you know what to expect. So you've got that. He's got that to look forward to. But then I think to myself, what is Ngannou going to learn from what his first fight was? Is he going to improve? If he improves, he's going to be a real handful. We know he can punch. You know he's strong. He's tough. So I think it's not a foregone conclusion whatsoever, because I know now that he can box. He's a switch hitter.
Yeah.
And as I keep saying, he can punch, and he certainly can fight inside. So it's going to be an interesting fight. There's no doubt about it. I think it will be a knockout either way.
If you were planning to bet on Francis Ngannou to beat Anthony Joshua because of what happened with Tyson Fury, you were in for a great disappointment of your life. Maybe Francis did give Saudis a run for their money. You are not in for a treat with Anthony Joshua. You know why? Anthony Joshua knows you hate him. He knows you think he is a bum. He knows you clown him by describing him a bully and a racist. Of course, he knows what you all are thinking, that he has no chin, and once Francis clips him, he's going down. According to AJ's trainer Ben Davison, Francis Ngannou is not invincible as people claims to describe him, and what happened with Tyson Fury is that kind of weird fight you start asking, how come? When Andy Ruiz defeated Anthony Joshua that day at Madison Square, everyone was shocked and were baffled at how the whole thing came to be. It changed AJ's reputation forever. Just name it. Carl Froch, his #1 critique, you cannot evade the name Lennox Lewis. We all know the old man has nothing positive to say about Anthony Joshua. And of course, I won't forget Simon Jordan and how other boxers began to disrespect Anthony Joshua. Bring in Jarrell Big Baby Miller and we are in for a laugh. We all know AJ has switch trained in 5 years, since that Ruiz defeat, the back-to-back defeat to Alexander Usyk. He took the advice of leaving the UK to train in the United States and was under Derek James for his comeback fight against Jermaine Franklin and Robert Helenius. But when the day of reckoning came, it was going to be Ben Davison. If we are being sincere, none of us knew Anthony Joshua left the States back to the UK. He was punching bags and then decided to visit Ben, and it was more than 3 months. So, the performance against Otto Wallin was not a 6 weeks thing. It was in fact 3 months. AJ didn't just beat Wallin, he broke him. So, now, the knockout chaos is here, and guess what? Francis Ngannou and his thick voice coach have been bringing the smoke. According to Francis, I heard AJ has no chin. I plan to find out. But even Turki Al-Sheikh of Saudi Arabia wants to see Francis hit the canvas, and you know what, guys? Fear Ben Davidson's smirky look. Firstly, Anthony Joshua is not slick, nor does he bounce like Tyson Fury, and that was what made it easier for Francis, known as the Predator, to scare Tyson Fury. Francis did everything right, but never for once did Tyson punched and followed it up with something drastic. He punched and then tried to clinch. Francis noticed this, and that was why he beat up Tyson so badly in round 8. With Anthony Joshua, it is different, and while some people will still try to find some excuse, Anthony Joshua is going to demolish Francis Ngannou within 4 rounds. Well, we are looking at remix of Zhang versus Joyce 1 here. Remember how you all hyped Joe Joyce that he's got a strong chin and he wazzled us that? Well, that was his undoing against Zhang until one of his eyes could not see properly again. And what happened in the rematch? Joe Joyce got slept, and that was the end of his Solomon Grundy. Many of you failed to notice one thing Anthony did well against Otto Wallin. He boxed Otto bodies off until the face opened up. So while everyone was expecting the right hand, Anthony used his left more and more till Otto's standing guard crumbled. So, you think Francis got a left hook? Ben Davison has equipped Anthony Joshua to punch with the intention of harming an opponent. So, it's not going to be a thing of Anthony's right hand anymore, and this is the puzzle that will confuse opponent in Joshua's and the remainder of career. Francis is going to come with, oh, I've got strong chin and can withstand what's coming. Remember when AJ was chopping wood? Many of you laughed and act like AJ was not a construction worker from the beginning of his teenage years. Chopping woods adds more strength and fluidity to the hands, making every shot count whenever it lands cleanly. So when Francis comes forward, it's going to be a fast jab, and then jab, and jab, and jab. By the end of round 2, Francis' coach is going to urge him to come gun blazing, and this is where the pace will pick up in round 3. Francis liked to the short jab and put pressure, thanks to Tyson Fury disappointment. This is clearly seen. While many think AJ should move around and box, the game plan is the head movement you saw against Otto Wallin. The temple punch Andy Ruiz threw is not going to happen again because Anthony Joshua is no longer reckless. With Francis coming forward, take a look at how AJ let his hand go against Otto Wallin. Francis is going to be tested with the best uppercut he has never seen. AJ is not going to jab anymore. It is going to be hooks. If there is anyone who has explosive punches, it is Anthony Joshua. By the time those left hooks start coming in, Francis' strong wall will start crashing. Now, Francis' intention is to use his body to try and bully AJ since he seems bigger. So here is the plan Ben Davison is going to urge Anthony to do. Use the left hand for high guard and then come in with the right. If Anthony Joshua can successfully land 7 right hand by round 4 on Francis' face, he will not continue round 5. I clearly understand why you all hyping him because Tyson thought he was going to work through him. There is a reason is called knockout chaos. What Turki Alashik forgot to add was technical knockout chaos. However, should Francis manage to overcome round 5, by round 6, Anthony is going to flatten his body. No matter how strong you are, Anthony Joshua knows how to unsettle anybody with devastating body shot. Now, what was Anthony Joshua's undoing was his defense. Did you notice the head movements against Otto Wallin? What about his high guard which protects the temple? Anthony Joshua's turning point was fighting Usyk, and this is the reason Ben is hoping for Usyk 3 because to beat Usyk down, you must come gun blazing, and you must have an extra gas tank. Anthony Joshua fighting Franklin and not getting tired was a necessary experiment, something Deontay Wilder failed to learn, and that's why he's getting beaten now. To be or not to be, the moment you recognized you need to up your game, that is when you start learning. Francis has been getting cocky as of late, saying, I am going to take Anthony Joshua's soul. Well, if Francis scale past round 4, he's going down by round 8. I bet you one thing, this is not going to be a decision fight. This is the fight where every one of you will come down from the Francis train, and you all are going to say, AJ was supposed to win. And when Lennox Lewis comes out with his usual criticism of Anthony Joshua, you all are going to continue the hate as usual. Do you agree AJ knocks Francis Ngannou out via TKO? Let me know what you think in the comments section.